evening, everybody, and welcome back to Dialogue here on JCN, where I am enjoying the amazing food, which is right now within August Moon Cafe, which is out here out west, but since that's closing up, it's also the sort of an example, I would say, of some of the food available that would be done by Catering by Alexandra.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, I have to admit, during the break, I was able to eat some of the seaweed salad. Delicious. And again, yes, you can get these at the Japanese restaurants and that sort of thing, but it's not, we're not in London or New York where I can go to, if you're in London, you can go to Marks and Spencer's and they have seaweed salad in their little deli section. It's easy. Or you're in the States and you can go to a lot of food stores and it's right there. But this is a way for me, through your catering company maybe, to be able to have a whole variety of options at my meals. Is that right?
Yes,
what sort of things would you be able to do? And I know there's probably thousands, but give me sort of an idea of what you could do.
It's just too exciting.
Yeah.
There's thousands of possibilities when it comes to food. And I mean, it really would depend. I know you asked me to come up with a catering menu. It really would depend on the theme that would be going on at the time. For example, we've done, when the National Art Gallery did an African exhibition of paintings, we did African food that went along. So we did, you know, steak skewer, meat skewers from Kenya and Ethiopian, potato cakes and Egyptian things and South African.
Yum.
So, you know, it really depends on your theme and what you want.
So what would happen? I call you up and I say, hey, okay, Alexandra, I have a friend, she's getting married. We want to have, instead of doing one of the crazy bachelorette parties, we want to have 20 women over and we're going to sort of have a pre-wedding bridal party.
Right.
No.
What do you do?
Well,
do you ask me what I'm looking for?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We tailor make our events to suit you. We don't do the packages where for $50 you get blah, blah, blah. It's our
Even though we
menus-
do have those for
Yes, we do
office
those.
and corporate events.
Okay, because
we have
otherwise
the
I was going to say that
packages.
could be a little complicated
Yes.
if I'm just a
No,
bank
no.
and I want to just say,
That's right.
But on the whole, we custom make our events, which means that we work with your budget and with your adventurous spirit and creativity. We can be as creative as you can be, but we do provide music, rentals, tents, decor, linens, lighting, etc. So anything that you need, we're happy to do and happy to work with. I mean, we've had a lot of fun with clients that are willing to do so.
But so if I say, well, you know, I mean, I haven't really traveled very much, but I saw this amazing show on TV about food in southern Italy.
Yes.
Can you then say,
Absolutely.
oh, well, I'm going to recommend
Yes.
blah, 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 blah,
That's
blah,
right.
whatever it happens to
You know,
be. Okay.
Part of my thing in life was that I love history so much, and I absolutely believe that you understand a culture by understanding the food. If you understand the food, you understand how people and how it developed for them. You understand the people better.
Yeah.
So I would go immediately and research Southern Italian cooking, not just as the TV chefs would portray it, but really from the down heart of someone. And then I would come back to you and say, and then I know more or less now after 20 years.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a real purist when I started out, and now I've toned myself down a little bit. I would say, you know what, I think this would be a good menu for you.
Perfect.
That's based on what I know of Southern Italian cooking, what I know of Bahamians. I always ask the question, who are you feeding?
Right.
If you're feeding, you know, black Bahamians, that's one menu. If you're feeding white Bahamians alone, that's another menu. If you're feeding Europeans, that's a different menu. And that may sound silly to people, but it tells you how you should go in terms of flavors, and not being so exotic that people look at you and say, you know, no thank you.
Yeah.
I've been in my early years of
Although I'm
catering-
sure there's some good white Bahamians who probably blend over to the other side, and I know some wonderful black Bahamians who are definitely going to merge over to the
Of
other side. So
course.
I'm sure there's a little blending, and you
There
gotta.
is a little blending.
And I know some Europeans who, yeah, they
No,
can
no,
eat
it
American
wasn't-
food,
it's
you know.
Alexandra was not being.
No, it's not meant to
politically
sound-
correct there. It's
No.
just that you try to feed
I know
people
my
what
people.
they
You know,
I
no,
know
you know
all my
people's
people
tastes. Well,
after
it's like
these-
the wine companies here. You know, I was very interested to find out that one of the groups that brings wine in, they actually asked a vineyard to make a much sweeter red wine than they actually produced because they knew it was going to feed our Bahamian palates so much better. That's just knowing your
Tell you,
clientele.
early in my career, I was laughed out at a catering that I did. Okay, because the people that planned the party, and this is just a little illustration of why. The people that planned the party told me that, you know, they wanted it to be exotic. And they picked the 5 top execs, forgetting the entire body of people that were going to be eating this food. And so everyone looked at sushi and sashimi and laughed. I mean, they were.
And back in the day, I can only imagine.
That was 16 years ago,
Yeah.
and we were looked at like
Crazy
you know,
people.
crazy people. So since then, I've taken I've Bahamianized food to match our Bahamian tastes
Yeah.
while getting exotic. And I have found it's been so exciting cooking for Bahamians now.
And
Yeah.
of course,
Because they are
Alexandra
excited
says
about-
it as a Bahamian.
Of course, I'm a Bahamian.
I think we all got that when the fact that our grandmummy or created
Well,
craft
I
conch.
mean,
So
Yeah.
like that's why we created the conch and crab spring roll. So it's a Bahamian flavor.
Fusion.
Yeah.
Fusion,
Everybody's
but it's an exotic
favorite.
packaging. So Bahamians eat it and they love it,
no, of course.
you know, because it tastes like baked
But
crab.
that sounds like something too, though, that would be able to. Again, that may be in your target audience, but I can see most of our visitors to our shores being very excited about that kind of fusion cooking as well.
Absolutely.
Because
So that wasn't
you
meant
putting
to
conch
say-
and crab together and you're frying it up. I mean, that's hard to get wrong there.
But
I'd say.
but you've been in this business for 20
20
years
years.
now, and life has gone on, and
Yes.
you have catered for a series of people that have made you feel challenged and grow. For
Yes.
example, you just finished doing Top Chef.
10 days of Top Chef.
Which was just, in case you guys didn't see, so I have to say, I was not necessarily a fan of how they portrayed the Bahamas.
I mean, the fact that you
in-
could go get like 300 conchs within 10 feet of Rose Island? Yeah.
Well, and there were a few things that I don't think that they did that were not as flattering to the Bahamas as they could have been. But Top Chef did come to the Bahamas, so
Yes.
regardless of how I considered the show, they came, and you were catering for Morimoto was here. I mean, just
Yes.
Morimoto. I mean, again, if you like food at all, this is the sort of thing that gives heart palpitation. Or
Yes, I had heart palpitations.
I would have fallen
okay?
over and on the ground dead before being
And
able
when
to
he
cook for
sent me a
him.
message to say he loved my Asian food, I was like, I had to grab Catherine.
Yeah, I'm
Because
sure.
I was so excited. And when Wolfgang Puck walked up to me, I almost fainted like a
Yeah.
silly girl. But, you know, it's very exciting. And but more than just even the chefs that we catered for and worked for, the production team that eat at every single production all over the world, wherever they go, we excited them. And that's a bigger challenge sometimes than even just the
I guess one of the things is that, yes, we live on a small island.
Oh, that's
Yes,
good.
we're not New York City, but
No.
it's okay for food to be something that's exciting and adventurous and occasionally cutting edge. And that it doesn't have to just be a sidebar, it can be the main event. And I know that that's your driving passion, to introduce people to new ideas. Love it or hate it, it's good to have your horizons made broader.
But again, I mean, just to go back to what you are doing
Yeah.
with the catering, so it's wonderful to know that, again, if I am, maybe it's just that my daughter's graduating or whatever it is, and I do want to have something exciting. But again, let's change it up, and I'm the HR manager for my bank, and we need to have a Christmas do.
Yeah.
right.
And I got 200 people, and the last thing I want to do is worry
Surprise
about. All I
them.
want to do is tell
That's
you, I have $75 per person. Here, what can you
Yes.
give me? Are you able to work with that sort of
Absolutely,
environment as well? No, because while I would
That
prefer
would
the
be the-
exciting and the adventurous side, I'm
That
sure.
would be the roast beef,
Yeah.
roast prime rib of beef, and cheese platters and smoked salmon.
Perfect. So the things that we
Crazy
know
glazed
everybody's
crab.
gonna like.
I mean, I could almost regurgitate it. And
Yeah.
yes, I understand what you're asking me, and yes, we do the normal food like that. But at the same time, it's and the other thing is that while it might be boring to me, I accept that it isn't boring to someone who's not eaten it before.
Well, and it's also
therefore,
young.
it has to be presented and given to them with as much love and passion as I can muster up for a ham, if that makes sense to you.
No, it doesn't. I
It's,
said that no, but that's an important consideration too, because again, I am fortunate because I do get to travel all the time, but I have a lot of friends too, they don't, they eat Subway sandwiches for lunch.
Yes.
They grill chicken on the weekends, and literally, no, but that's sort of what their menu is, and it doesn't get much more exciting. Maybe there's an occasional outing to an Italian restaurant. But so if you're gonna cook me really good prime rib, and you're gonna
Yes.
cook me really good whatever it happens to be, and it's simple, but it's still delicious, I think there's an important role for that as
As
well.
far as I'm concerned, whatever we cook has to be what I would eat.
Right.
I will never insult you by cooking food that I would not eat. Since I love food,
Yeah.
yes, I love a piece of, I love simple. I love a steak and prime
Yeah.
rib and, you know, all the simple foods like that. So it's not as though I'm sitting there saying, oh, unless it's gourmet, you can't eat it. Absolutely not.
Okay. And just to make sure, so again, if you are interested, there's both the website,
Yes.
cateringbyalexandra.com.
And Catherine.
And you can always
No,
contact
events by
Kat.
Alexandra.
Oh, events.
We're beyond
events.
just kid
Oh, that's
food.
right, because you got the whole thing. You got the
Yes.
tents, you got the rentals, you
That's
got.
right.
So, and again, that's such a great thing. So I need the chairs, I need all of this. I don't have to worry about setting anything up. You guys
No.
will come. What about if I want to actually have decorations? Do you go that
We
far?
absolutely go
Yes.
that far. We also
Oh.
work with your preferred vendor. We are flexible.
Perfect.
If you have a preferred vendor that you want to work with, we will work with them. In
Excellent.
any form, you know, there's certain things that I stick to, like the service, the waiting staff.
I'm sure.
Comes from us. Because I have to know that that's
You have to guarantee that quality.
absolutely guaranteed.
But if I have a cousin who does decorating or
That's fine
whatever,
with me.
and they'll chat with you and say, okay, so what did you end up with as the menu?
That's right.
You're doing Italian? Okay, I'm gonna
That's
theme it
right.
Well,
Italian.
there's so
Okay,
many
great.
talented Bahamians, and this
Yes.
is not meant to be exclusive. We want to be inclusive.
Yeah.
We want to provide the Bahamas with a service that is unique. So yes, we will
Perfect.
include
We do not
your
want-
cousin.
We do not
Yeah.
want to hog the market.
Unfortunately, I don't have a cousin. Don't email me asking me for my cousin who does decorating, but I am sure I know that there are many cousins of other people out there who do
Yes, I do.
decorating.
And we've had many
and it's-
events like that.
And again, the way to make, if I say I've got a budget of $2,000 for this really important event that I'm doing, and I got my 10 people coming, and I already know that $1,000 is going to you for that, but I still need to get tables and chairs and all these other things. If I can get that because my cousin does it or my
Yes.
uncle does it or whoever it
We
is, I
work
think
with
that's
that.
a wonderful way
We do
to.
absolutely work, because we actually want good food to go out to all Bahamians, not just
Yeah.
those that, you know,
Are lucky enough to.
lucky enough to be. And
Yeah.
that's been for.
And that's what August Food has tried to do.
Tried to
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna take another quick break. I just have to say these shrimp cake things. I don't know what the
The
official.
onamaki.
Onamaki. Oh, so good. So again, if you can get out here to August Moon before July 31st, probably not much chance they're gonna have the exact same thing on the menu, but should
But we'll have
they?
something.
It's definitely worth trying these. So come back with us after the break.
Harry talking food, Shimmy looking in the head. He breaks you to bush crying, oh Lord, I got dead.